Dolan Morgan, writer. I grew up in Guilford, Connecticut. I grew up in a condo complex up in the woods on the north end of Guilford. Guilford is on the shoreline in Connecticut, but where I lived was, I don't know, 10, 20 miles from the shore in the woods. Me and my friends always thought that they were haunted when we were kids and swore that there were all sorts of ghosts in there. If I was to pursue a different field, when I was a little kid, I really wanted to be three things. I wanted to be a vampire, I wanted to be an assassin, and I wanted to be an investigative journalist. I don't know why I wanted to be a vampire or an assassin. They seemed like great jobs. You could go around, do whatever you want. I started writing with my grandmother in her house. I had her type for me as I dictated to her a story about aliens that had come to take our pizza. And me and my dad had to fight them off, and we ended up time traveling and going to space, and it was pretty action-packed. Really, it was about pizza. I really liked Ninja Turtles at the time. People who taught me what I know regarding the project I'm working on right now are a lot of journalists from a long time ago that I've never met, and most people probably have never heard of, and there's no reason to hear of them, because I've been doing a lot of research in really old newspaper articles in small towns to find early listings of airplane crashes and airplane hijackings, and often they're just reported in small corners of local newspapers because they weren't that big a deal for a long time. And so I learned a lot about the subject from these people who were kind of just doing their job and reporting what happened in their area. So the inspirations, my largest inspirations regarding this project are, and in writing in general, are Italo Calvino, Roberto Colasso. Those people really had a huge influence on how I approached the style of the writing and the freedom to kind of do whatever you want in writing. I used to kind of draw thick lines between fiction and nonfiction, and this project is definitely kind of blend between those things where it has a certain level of research and history and actual documents, but it's also a lot of, I don't know, myth-making too. So the freedom to do that is something that I was given from reading writers like Italo Calvino, Roberto Colasso, Galliano, and my first memory of technology is, definitely that sound, whatever. But the first memory of me trying to interact with technology, such as the internet, is when a friend and I had the idea that we could rob a bank using his dad's computer, and we spent many hours just typing in transfer $10,000 or transfer $1 million to my dad's bank account. And we thought that that was how you coded the internet. And apparently it's not. We didn't get the money, but I've been working on it. So access to information and search tools and all the technology that is now available to me as a writer is probably the only reason I took on the project that I'm taking on now. Regarding this project, I probably would not have taken it on had I not had something like the Google News Archive, where I could use as a starting point to really go through huge swaths of newspaper information, scanning for keywords. If I were to name a defining characteristic of my generation, it'd probably just be that we're recording everything we do between Twitter, YouTube, and all the digital records. That's a huge trove of evidence to make a judgment about us at some point. Most generations in the past, were scrambling to find documents and artifacts about who they were and what they did, but we've recorded almost everything, so it's going to be much easier to make some kind of assessment.